like this was a piece that was sort of like a love letter to cinema from an angle that you don't normally see. People don't really know a lot about projectionists or what goes on when you go to the movie theater, what's happening behind the scenes. But I felt like this piece was really good at reflecting a sort of artistry that goes in that part of the process, even though the film product is already done, and sort of like how much care goes into crafting the experience of ending up watching a film and what it's like to be in the theater, what it's like to look up at a big screen and sort of having a sense of wonder and sort of sense of duty and crafting that experience and having a level of reverence for what it means to create that kind of community. Watching that one man, I believe, sort of grow old in that same position really reflects a sort of like eternal love for the process of filmmaking, even if you yourself are not making the movie and are just part of the audience, which I feel like is a sort of integral part of being a good filmmaker is knowing how to be a good audience member and being someone that's good at watching movies. So I felt like this entire piece really had an appreciation for the art of film in more than one way, which is why I ended up enjoying it so much.
This one honestly was a little sad in a heartfelt way. I think a standout performer was absolutely that final man. He just tugged at your heartstrings from the moment he showed up until the final moment, which was my favorite moment, but also the saddest when he was decorating for Valentine's Day. I thought the care for the chairs was something super symbolic because the middle man, the 2000s man, um, would be, cleaning them, taking care of them, and then the final one putting the cards on the chairs. So that was a nice through line. But also just the fact that less and less people were coming and less people were caring about being in a theater. And here's this projectionist losing his joy of share, well, not losing the joy, but losing the people to share the joy with. It really speaks to how our theaters are becoming. And, had this projectionist gone to 2020, what a totally different world it would have been for him. It was a sweet piece.
It's very sad, and but there's a point to it. Just seeing this lonely life of this film projectionist. So it's very interesting to see this life that unfolds across the multiple generations of James Bond films. That was a nice way to frame it. It kind of gives us all an in and an understanding there of it. And yeah, seeing it at the different ages, alone in that room, projecting the film. And then it's so sad at the end when nobody comes to his, retirement party, is what it seemed to be. Because he's in that room by himself. Nobody knows who he is. Everybody assumes it's magic. The lead actors, everybody on screen did a great job. The three, main leads did a great job. And they did a great job of conveying the story to us without dialogue. So it was nicely written and nicely directed and edited that way as well. And the sound was good as well, too. The sound design and editing, everything came together to tell the story of the movie in a very succinct and very easy to understand way. And it worked very, very well.
Age-old story of growth in your life cycle in a way. It's a life cycle story. You have the start of it where he has this job as this projectionist, and there's a joy to it. There's a joy to his everyday of getting to do this thing where I am responsible for entertaining all these people, by putting these films up on this screen. And it's a quiet existence. And I remember hearing him kind of just sweeping, and, years have gone by. He's older now. And I just thought, is this all his life is? It's a little sad. If this is his day in, day out, this has been his life for like 15, 20, 30 years. And it's reminiscent of his life passing by in a flash, because one scene he's young, the next scene he's, in his 40s, and then suddenly he's 60, 70 years old. And I thought that was very symbolic of how life does pass us by. Um, and then that joy that he had in the beginning, it's no longer there. It's the repetition, and the joy starts to diminish over time. And those repetitive actions make life, but there's moments you have to find a way to get yourself out of that repetition and make something happen so you can infuse that joy in your life. And I think that, when he makes the decision to have a special screening and I'm going to do something different today. Um, I think it was him finally deciding that, I had been living the same repetitious cycle for so long, and I'm tired of it. Um, I thought it was very telling because I think anyone goes through that in life where it just feels like, is this it?
Wonderfully shot, and the story was so clear without ever having saying a word, and I love that. It showed a love of a theater, a love of film, and how a really good story could be told without ever uttering a word. So that was really great. Very clever how they changed all of the Bond film names. It made me a little chuckle inside since I am a James Bond fan. I really enjoyed that. I love what they did with the lighting. They made this, it gave it such a nice personal feel. You definitely saw the emotion. I thought that the actors did a wonderful job.
I love the fact that it's in black and white to indicate his many films he projects over time. I like the references to real films. Excellent sentimental soundtrack at certain times in the film. And the writing and pace are also excellent. I really like the imagery near the end of the love balloons in the theater as the old man looks around. He has perhaps enjoyed watching romances in the theater over time. And finally, I like the gentle performances of the three actors across the years.
The Projectionist does a really great job of capturing youthful enthusiasm and excitement, and then a sense of nostalgia. And I think the setting and the details do a really great job of showing the passage of time, and definitely makes it very reflective in terms of how entertainment has changed over time.